There are women who walk among us unseen by the world, but known deeply by God. They do not chase attention, yet heaven watches over every step they take. These are the chosen women, set apart, refined through fire, hidden in divine timing, and protected by the unseen hand of God. They are not ordinary, for their spirit carries the marks of destiny. When such a woman enters a room, the atmosphere shifts, not because of her beauty, not because of her words, but because the presence of God rests upon her. You can recognize them not by their appearance, but by the spiritual marks that only God can place upon a life. Every chosen woman carries a story that was never easy. She has cried tears the world will never see. She has fought silent battles that no one will ever know. She has walked through deserts with no map and faced nights where only her prayers kept her alive. And yet, through every trial, she never let go of God. That is her first mark, divine endurance. A chosen woman doesn't crumble under pressure, she transforms through it. The fire that was meant to destroy her only purifies her spirit. While others complain, she prays. While others give up, she rises. She knows that God never abandons those who are chosen. He refines them to reflect His strength. The second mark of a chosen woman is sacred silence. She does not need to prove her worth or announce her greatness. She lets God speak for her. In a world that worships noise, she chooses peace. When others gossip, she prays. When others shout, she listens. Her silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. God trains her in the quiet because destiny cannot grow in chaos. She has learned that peace is power, and that the most dangerous woman is the one who knows how to remain calm while everything around her is shaking. Her silence confuses her enemies because they cannot understand how she remains unbothered while storms rage around her. But she knows God is her defender, and no one can fight better for her than the one who sees all things. The third mark is divine discernment. A chosen woman sees beyond faces, she sees hearts. She does not fall for flattery because her spirit recognizes truth. God has sharpened her vision to discern motives, to recognize deception, and to protect her peace from false connections. She is not easily fooled because she has spent time in the presence of God where clarity flows like a river. This discernment is not arrogance, it is protection. God gives it to her because her assignment requires it. She must walk carefully, for her influence is sacred. She carries something powerful within her, and the enemy knows it. That is why she must discern not only who enters her life, but also who must leave it. She understands that not everyone is meant to walk with her. And she releases people with grace, trusting that God removes what no longer serves her purpose. The fourth mark of a chosen woman is resilience through rejection. She has known what it feels like to be misunderstood, overlooked, and even betrayed by those she trusted. But instead of breaking, she bends and grows stronger. God uses rejection as her redirection. Every time someone turned away, God turned her closer to Him. Every no became a lesson, every loss became fuel, and every heartbreak became a door to a deeper level of faith. She doesn't chase after those who leave, she blesses them and moves forward. For she knows that God never allows anything to be taken from her unless he intends to replace it with something greater. Her resilience is not learned from comfort, but from pain. And that pain has become her teacher, shaping her into a woman of unshakable faith. The fifth mark of a chosen woman is spiritual authority. She may look humble, but her prayers move mountains. She doesn't need a stage or a spotlight. Her power is in her faith. When she speaks, the atmosphere listens. When she prays, chains break. When she intercedes, heaven responds. God has entrusted her with spiritual influence because she proved faithful in obscurity. She has learned how to fight battles on her knees, and she has won victories that the world will never see. Her strength is not physical, it is spiritual. And the power that flows from her life comes not from pride, but from purity. Because she has kept her heart clean, God amplifies her voice. She is a warrior in disguise, gentle in presence, yet fierce in spirit. Her power doesn't come from who she is, but from who stands behind her. The sixth mark of a chosen woman is humility and victory. When God blesses her, she doesn't boast. When doors open, she gives thanks. She knows that every success, every opportunity, every blessing is not her doing. It is God's mercy. Her humility is what keeps her elevated. She doesn't forget the night she prayed when no one was watching. She remembers the pain that taught her gratitude, the loss that taught her compassion, the rejection that taught her grace. Because of this, God continues to lift her higher, not for her glory, but for His purpose. She understands that true power is not found in recognition, but in surrender. Her greatest achievement is not how far she's come, but how faithfully she has walked with God. And the seventh mark, the rarest of all, is divine favor. This mark cannot be earned or explained. It is a supernatural covering that follows her wherever she goes. Doors open for her that others cannot unlock. People bless her without knowing why. Opportunities find her even when she's not searching. This is the mark of divine endorsement. God places His hand upon her life in such a way that everything connected to her begins to flourish. It's not luck, it's divine order. Because she has kept her heart pure and her motives aligned with God's will, He blesses her openly. Even those who doubted her are forced to admit that something about her is different. She carries the fragrance of favor, the evidence of divine presence. A chosen woman is not loud, but she is powerful. She is not flawless, but she is faithful. She doesn't chase the world because she knows that her value comes from God alone. Her worth is not determined by her past. It is defined by her purpose. Every trial she has faced has prepared her for the season she is entering now. She has been through the fire, but she came out refined. She has walked through loss, but she still carries peace. She has been broken, but not destroyed, because God was with her, and that alone made her unshakable. The world may not understand her because her story was never written for the world's approval. It was written for God's glory. She walks differently because she listens to a higher voice. She moves when God says move and stays still when He says wait. Her timing is not dictated by pressure or comparison. It is governed by divine instruction. While others rush, she rests. While others panic, she prays. She knows that waiting is not wasting. It is preparation. God does not make her wait to punish her. He makes her wait to perfect her. And when her time comes, she will shine effortlessly because she was never chasing light. She was becoming it. There's a stillness that surrounds a chosen woman, the kind of peace that cannot be imitated. She doesn't need validation to know she is valuable. She doesn't need approval to feel anointed. Her confidence flows from a place of divine assurance. She knows that God's hand upon her is her greatest protection. The same God who allowed her pain will turn it into purpose. The same tears she cried will water the seeds of her destiny. Her story may have begun with suffering, but it will end in glory. For what begins with tears always ends with triumph when God is the author. Every chosen woman has scars, but her scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof of her survival. They tell the world, I've been through battles and still believe. She doesn't hide her wounds because she understands that they carry wisdom. God never wastes pain. He transforms it into purpose. That's why chosen women carry an unexplainable glow. It's not beauty, it's resilience. It's not charm, it's grace. It's not luck. It's the evidence of God's faithfulness. You can see it in her eyes, hear it in her words, feel it in her energy. She has walked with God long enough to know that even her silence speaks victory. And perhaps the most powerful truth about a chosen woman is this: she was chosen before anyone believed in her, even before she believed in herself. God saw her before the world did. He marked her with destiny before she ever took her first breath. Her story was sealed in heaven long before she faced her first battle on earth. That is why she cannot be defeated. That is why her enemies cannot destroy her. She is not sustained by human strength. She is sustained by divine purpose. So if you are listening to this and you feel unseen, misunderstood, or forgotten, let this truth settle into your spirit. God has not overlooked you. The marks you carry are not random. They are proof that you are being prepared. The trials you are facing are not signs of abandonment. They are evidence of selection. The pain that once broke you is the same pain that will position you. Every chosen woman must walk through fire, but she does not burn. She must endure storms, but she does not sink. Because when God chooses you, He equips you, He strengthens you, and He stands with you through it all. You may not see it now, but every closed door was protection. Every disappointment was redirection, and every delay was divine timing. You are not behind, you are being built. God is crafting your story, refining your heart, and preparing to reveal what He has placed within you. And when He does, the world will see what heaven has always known, that you were chosen, marked, and destined for something greater than you can imagine. The chosen woman is not defined by what the world sees, but by what God whispers to her spirit. She may not wear a crown of gold, but she wears a crown of grace. The world might call her ordinary, but heaven calls her appointed. Every step she takes is guided by divine precision. Every delay in her life is not denial, it is preparation. There is a rhythm to her journey, a sacred timing that cannot be rushed or altered, because the hand of God is writing her story line by line, season by season. And though others may move faster, she moves deeper. For her life is not measured by speed, but by purpose. She has learned that what comes quickly often fades quickly. But what God builds through patience lasts forever. When God chooses a woman, He does not choose her for comfort. He chooses her for calling. He places within her a burden, a vision, a fire that will not let her rest until she fulfills her divine assignment. That is why she cannot live like everyone else. She cannot lower her standards or follow the crowd. There is something sacred about her steps. She is walking a path that few understand. The chosen woman carries weight. Not the weight of the world, but the weight of divine purpose. Her spirit carries an anointing that attracts both blessings and battles. People may envy her favor, but they do not see the fire that forged it. For every ounce of grace she carries, there was a season of pain she had to survive. There are moments when the chosen woman feels weary, when her faith is tested to the edge, and her tears fall without sound. Yet even in her exhaustion, she never stops believing. She knows that the same God who called her will sustain her. Even when her hands are trembling, she lifts them in prayer. Even when her voice is weak, she speaks faith into her atmosphere, because she understands that her strength does not come from her own power. It comes from the presence of God within her. The chosen woman does not collapse under pressure, because she knows the one who holds her never sleeps. She keeps going, not because it's easy, but because quitting is not in her spirit. What sets the chosen woman apart is her unwavering obedience. When God tells her to move, she moves. When He tells her to wait, she waits. Her obedience is not selective, it is complete. Even when she doesn't understand, she trusts. Even when it costs her comfort, she says yes, because she has learned that obedience unlocks blessings that talent, beauty, or influence never could. She knows that the favor of God does not flow where there is rebellion. It flows where there is surrender. And though her obedience may lead her through wilderness seasons, she never doubts that the promised land is waiting on the other side. The chosen woman knows that faith is not about seeing. It's about walking blind and trusting that God will catch every step. There is also a divine magnetism around the chosen woman. She doesn't have to chase people, opportunities, or recognition. When she aligns her heart with God's will, what is meant for her begins to find her. Her life becomes a testimony of divine attraction. She doesn't manipulate outcomes. She manifests purpose through faith. When God marks a woman, He also commands the universe to cooperate with her destiny. Situations that once resisted her suddenly begin to yield. What once was impossible becomes effortless, because divine favor shifts everything in her favor. She is not lucky. She is led. She is not striving. She is aligned. The chosen woman also carries an inner strength that is invisible yet undeniable. This strength does not come from pride, but from pain that has been transformed into power. She has been through battles that would have broken others, yet she stands with quiet dignity, clothed in peace. Her resilience confuses those who expected her to fall, but they do not realize that she has walked with God in the dark. She has found her power in prayer, her courage in faith, her healing in surrender. There is a fire in her eyes that no storm can extinguish, because she has learned that the same God who allowed the fire also walks with her in it. A chosen woman's heart beats with purpose. She does not live by emotion. She lives by conviction. Her love is not weak, it is wise. Her compassion does not make her naive, it makes her divine. She knows how to forgive without forgetting the lesson. She knows how to let go without losing her peace. She does not need revenge, because she knows that God defends her better than she ever could. Her power is her calm, her weapon is her wisdom, and her victory is her peace. When people wrong her, she blesses them. When they betray her, she prays for them. Not because she is weak, but because she refuses to let bitterness poison her purpose. She knows that holding grudges is too expensive for a woman who carries divine calling. Every chosen woman walks through a moment when she must choose between comfort and calling. And in that moment, she chooses God. She lets go of what is familiar to embrace what is divine. She surrenders her plan so that God's plan can unfold. She understands that elevation requires separation and destiny demands discipline. When others are celebrating distractions, she is cultivating devotion. When others seek validation, she seeks revelation. She lives differently because she was chosen differently. Her life is a message that says, God is enough. When God chooses a woman, He hides her before He reveals her. He keeps her unseen, uncelebrated, sometimes even misunderstood. Not because He is punishing her, but because He is protecting her. Hidden seasons are holy seasons. They are the places where God strengthens her foundation, so that when her time comes, she will not collapse under the weight of her calling. Many mistake delay for denial, but the chosen woman knows better. She knows that hiddenness is proof of preparation. Every quiet season is a training ground for greatness. God never reveals what He has not refined. There is a serenity in the chosen woman that cannot be shaken by chaos. Her peace is her signature. She walks through storms as if she hears a voice that others cannot hear. She is calm because she knows that God's plan is greater than her fear. The same God who led her into the valley will also lead her out of it. She doesn't need to understand every detail to trust the direction. She knows that faith is not built in comfort, it's built in uncertainty. Her peace is her power because it tells the world, I may not see what's ahead, but I trust the one who does. A chosen woman is also deeply generous. She gives love, kindness, and wisdom freely because she knows everything she has comes from God. Her giving spirit is what keeps her blessed. She knows that when she pours into others, God refills her. She doesn't give for recognition. She gives out of revelation. She knows that life multiplies what you give, not what you keep. So she gives hope where there is despair, light where there is darkness, and compassion where there is pain. She is a reflection of divine abundance, not because she has everything, but because she trusts that God is her source of everything. There are also moments when the chosen woman must stand alone. People may misunderstand her faith, question her choices, or mock her silence. Yet she stands firm, unshaken by opinions, because she knows that the approval of people is temporary, but the approval of God is eternal. She does not need applause to know her worth. She does not crave validation because her spirit has already been validated by the one who created her. Even when she feels unseen, she reminds herself, God sees me. That assurance gives her strength when she walks alone. The chosen woman carries a rare combination of gentleness and power. She can heal and correct, nurture and lead, love and let go, all with grace. She doesn't fight with noise, she wins through presence. Her calm is louder than arguments, her kindness stronger than revenge. She embodies strength wrapped in softness, and through her, God shows that power and humility can coexist, that strength and tenderness can walk hand in hand. What makes the chosen woman unstoppable is not her ability to avoid pain, but her ability to rise after it. She doesn't deny her wounds, but she refuses to let them define her. Her story is a series of comebacks written by God's mercy. Every time she thought it was over, God whispered, I am not done. And because she listens to that voice, she keeps going, glowing and growing. Her resilience is not human, it's divine. When the chosen woman finally steps into her season, everything about her shines differently. Not because she has changed who she is, but because she has become who she was always meant to be. The waiting, the tears, the trials, all of it was the making of her. Now she moves with quiet authority, knowing that everything she lost was part of what she needed to gain. God's timing has elevated her, and His favor has surrounded her. When God marks a woman as chosen, He rewrites her identity in the unseen. She stops living for the eyes of people and begins living for the gaze of God. There comes a moment when she realizes that her worth is not defined by her beauty, her status, or her achievements, but by her alignment with divine will. Her heart becomes sacred ground, a place where faith breathes and destiny unfolds. The chosen woman is not loud about her greatness, she is quiet about her purpose. She moves in silence because she understands that divine power does not need public validation. It only needs private obedience. The chosen woman does not chase what is temporary, she waits for what is eternal. She understands that every relationship, every opportunity, every door that closes is guided by divine precision. If something leaves her life, she doesn't break, she bows. Because she knows that if God removes it, it was not meant to stay. The chosen woman has learned to release with grace, to surrender without fear, and to trust that every ending is a setup for divine redirection. She does not panic when life shifts, because she knows that when she walks with God, even loss becomes a lesson, and every delay becomes divine protection. The chosen woman carries an atmosphere. When she enters a place, peace follows. When she speaks, wisdom flows. When she prays, the heavens listen. Her presence changes environments, not because of who she is, but because of who she walks with. Her life becomes a vessel of divine influence, and those who encounter her can sense that she carries something different, something sacred. This is what it means to be chosen, to be so full of divine presence that your silence speaks louder than your words, your actions preach louder than your voice, and your faith shakes what fear cannot. She does not compete, she completes. She does not envy, she evolves. She does not fight for recognition, she lives for revelation. Her heart is too anchored in divine purpose to be swayed by worldly opinions. She knows that comparison is the enemy of calling, and so she stays focused on her lane, her mission, her timing. When others rush, she rests. When others chase, she prays. When others panic, she praises. Because she knows that everything connected to her destiny will arrive exactly when God sends it. A chosen woman is not afraid of solitude because she has learned that divine instruction is born in silence. The world calls it loneliness, but she calls it intimacy. Those who are chosen must often walk alone, not as punishment, but as preparation. For in solitude, God molds her character, refines her discernment, and strengthens her spirit. It is in the stillness that she learns to hear the subtle whispers of divine direction. She discovers that not every voice deserves her attention, and not every door is meant to be opened. God isolates her not to harm her, but to elevate her. There is a purity in the chosen woman's heart that draws divine favor. She forgives even when it hurts. She blesses even when betrayed. She prays for those who try to harm her because she knows that harboring bitterness only blocks blessings. Her love is not conditional, it is spiritual. She understands that forgiveness is not weakness, it is wisdom. For by forgiving, she keeps her spirit light, her path clear, and her connection with God unbroken. The chosen woman is too focused on her divine future to stay chained to past pain. When God chooses a woman, He gives her a spirit of discernment. She begins to see beyond appearances, beyond words, beyond flattery. Her eyes are trained by faith to recognize truth from deception. She can sense when something is from God and when it is a distraction dressed as destiny. This discernment becomes her shield. It protects her from wrong people, wrong paths, and wrong opportunities. It allows her to move with clarity while others move with confusion. The chosen woman does not react. She discerns. She does not rush. She waits until God confirms. She also carries the mark of divine endurance. No matter how many times life tests her, she does not crumble, she recalibrates. When others give up, she grows. Every trial becomes a testimony. Every wound becomes wisdom. She does not resent her pain because she knows it is the furnace that forges her faith. God allows her to be tested not to destroy her, but to reveal the depth of her strength. Every tear she sheds is a seed that God will one day turn into joy. The chosen woman has learned that her scars are not signs of defeat. They are symbols of divine survival. The chosen woman also has a sacred stillness in her spirit. She does not live in fear of the unknown because she has surrendered her future to the one who controls it. She knows that no storm can cancel what God has written, and no delay can destroy what God has destined. Her peace is her proof that she trusts divine timing. Even when everything seems uncertain, her heart remains anchored in faith. She has learned that faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to keep walking while afraid. Knowing that God is leading her step by step, she carries humility as her greatest ornament. Though she is chosen, she never boasts. Though she is favored, she never forgets who sustains her. She gives all glory to God because she knows that without Him, she is nothing. Her humility attracts blessings, for God lifts those who bow before Him. She does not need to announce her greatness, because her life itself becomes the announcement. Her humility is what keeps her favor flowing, her wisdom growing, and her influence expanding. And yet, the chosen woman is also bold. Her faith is not timid. It is tenacious. She speaks truth without fear, stands firm without apology, and believes without doubt. When life challenges her, she does not shrink, she declares. When the enemy tries to silence her, she prays louder. Her courage is not arrogance, it is conviction. She knows that if God is with her, no opposition can stand against her. Her confidence is not in herself, but in the divine hand that guides her. There is a light that surrounds the chosen woman, a glow that cannot be hidden. It is not physical, it is spiritual. It is the radiance of peace, purity, and divine presence. Wherever she goes, she becomes a carrier of hope, a reflection of divine love, a vessel of transformation. People may not understand what makes her different, but they can feel it. She walks in grace, speaks with purpose, and lives with intention. She is not here to impress the world. She is here to impact it. The chosen woman knows that the world may misjudge her. Some may envy her silence, others may question her peace, but she does not respond to noise. Her focus is fixed on the higher call. She knows that divine purpose cannot be explained to those who are not called to understand it. So she stays quiet, trusting that time will reveal what words cannot. Her patience becomes her defense. Her consistency becomes her proof. She does not fight to be understood. She lets God do the explaining. Her journey is not without suffering, but even her suffering has purpose. God does not waste her pain. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every betrayal has prepared her to walk in deeper wisdom and strength. What others meant for harm, God turns into healing. What was taken from her, He replaces with something greater. She understands that divine favor is not about a life free of hardship. It is about a heart that remains faithful through hardship, and that is the mark of a woman chosen by God. She endures without losing her essence. She believes without needing evidence, and she loves without limits. The chosen woman carries destiny in her eyes and eternity in her heart. She is not living for applause, she is living for purpose. Her every breath is a prayer, her every step a declaration that God's will is enough. She has become a living testimony that no one can destroy what God has designed, and no circumstance can rewrite what heaven has decreed. When God chooses a woman, He does not choose her because of her perfection. He chooses her because of her willingness. He does not look for those who have everything figured out. He looks for those who are ready to surrender everything to Him. If you are hearing these words and something inside your heart begins to awaken, know this: it may be because you are one of those chosen women. You have felt misunderstood, overlooked, and sometimes forgotten, but in truth, you were being hidden for divine protection. You were not being delayed, you were being prepared. God was shaping your character, refining your patience, and deepening your faith for something far greater than you could ever imagine. The chosen woman is not defined by her past. She is defined by her purpose. What others called rejection, God called redirection. What they said was failure, God was using as foundation. You are not behind. You are right where you are meant to be. Every moment of pain, every season of silence, every tear that fell when no one saw, it all has meaning. God wastes nothing. He uses everything to build you into the woman He designed you to become. You are the result of divine craftsmanship, sculpted in stillness, refined through storms, and now rising into your appointed season. So I challenge you today, stop doubting your calling. Stop apologizing for your strength. Stop questioning why you feel different. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out for the glory of God. Chosen women carry a responsibility to walk with grace, to speak with wisdom, and to live with unwavering faith. The world needs your light. The world needs your strength. The world needs the example of a woman whose confidence is not in herself, but in the power of God working through her. If you feel weary, rise again. If you have fallen, get back up. If you have lost your way, turn your heart once more toward God. He has not forgotten you. He has been waiting for you. Every delay in your life has been divine strategy. Every closed door has been divine mercy. And every waiting season has been divine protection. The chosen woman does not live in fear of what she has lost. She lives in expectation of what God will restore. So walk with your head high, not in pride, but in purpose. Speak not with arrogance, but with assurance. Carry yourself as a woman who knows that she belongs to God, that her value is eternal, and that her destiny is divinely sealed. Let your presence be a testimony that faith is stronger than fear, that purity is more powerful than popularity, and that obedience opens doors that talent never can. You were not chosen to impress the world. You were chosen to impact it. You were not chosen to chase validation. You were chosen to reveal divine truth. The mark of a chosen woman is not what she wears or what she owns. It is the light she carries when she walks through darkness. And the world will know who she is, not by her words, but by the divine peace that surrounds her life. So let your spirit rise. Let your faith ignite. Let your heart become a vessel of divine purpose. Wherever you go, carry the mark of one who has been chosen by God, not to boast, but to bless, not to be seen, but to serve, not to shine for yourself, but to reflect the glory of the one who sent you. Because when a woman chosen by God finally understands who she is, she becomes unstoppable. Her steps are guided, her words carry power, and her life becomes living proof that no force on earth can stand against the will of God. And when she walks, the very ground beneath her feels it, because the presence of God moves with her. So walk boldly, chosen woman. Live fearlessly. Pray faithfully. And never forget, your calling was written long before the world knew your name. What God has marked, no one can erase. What God has planned, no one can block. And what God has started in you, He will finish in divine perfection. You are chosen. Live like it.